Welcome to 2 on the 10. Oh, we back 2 on the 10, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm Paul.
I'm Mitch.
Greedy Nick.
Greedy.
Oh, yeah. Before we get started, we got a sponsor for the show.
Here we go.
MJ Studios. You can get Afro paints. You can get abstract arts. All your painting needs. Just reach out to MerlinJohnsonStudios.com and get all your painting needs. If you need something, in the house, Nick, I know you got decorating around the joint with a new girl and stuff like that. So
MJ Studios.
yeah, MJ Studios.
There we go.
But you're still doing your staycation, so you probably don't need one yet.
I can bring some paintings.
Some art at his hotel. You never know.
I'd see. All right, man. So how was I know how your weekend was. So how was your weekend? We can kind of go off with each other, and then we
Okay. My weekend was good. It was good. Let me start with did the staycation thing. Surprise everybody.
Ooh, staycation.
But no, I do have to say this. So my girl Chris, shout out to her. She actually passed her health and license test.
Yeah, buddy, got that. Hey, there you go, Chris. There you go.
And if you knew how hard she worked transitioning, from bartending to this, and not saying one's better than the other, but again, this allows, like weekends off and different things like that, and career, more. I mean, not that bartending can't be a career.
Right.
I was a bartender. I love bartending.
Shout out to all our bartenders out
No,
there.
of course. All I'm saying is sometimes you want to make that transition. It's just tough to make that transition.
There you go. So before I let you, keep telling us about the weekend,
Yeah.
how many tries did she take, and how many times did you take?
Well, first of all,
Oh, no. Oh, is that the excuse? What see what happened?
no, we'll keep it 1,000. We both passed it on the third try.
Okay, perfect.
Both passed on the third try. Now
Okay.
she did get an 85.
Okay.
She did get an 85. Now I will say this: I only studied 4 hours for the first one, 8 hours for the second, and 12 hours for the third. So I finally put all the work in. To do
Okay.
it. But,
So even though you passed it on the same one,
Yeah.
she still whooped your ass.
I mean, I'll give that to her because she deserves it. She worked hard. She worked hard. So, but with that said, so I go, hey, where you want to go? Let's celebrate. And guess where she said she wanted to go for sushi. And you know where you go to sushi?
Ooh, Tamari, baby.
I didn't even have to tell you.
Yeah. Let me cut you off there.
Yeah.
Anybody don't know, best sushi I feel is on the West Coast is actually in Gilbert. Tamari, you got to check it out. Say if you go there, say what's up to my boy Saki.
Yep.
I'm gonna let you continue because I know you ordered some of my rolls.
Oh, yeah, no. So here's what's funny. I'm not going to lie, Paul, you actually laced me in that place. I remember when you first told me, and this had to be, 10 years ago? You're like, you got to go. And remember, Nick, then I laced you on it.
Yep.
And he goes, man, best sushi I've ever had. Val Vista and Guadalupe. It's a place called Tomorrow. I go, bullshit. Val Vista and Guad. I go, Paul, we've had sushi on the water in San Francisco.
Yes.
We've had sushi in LA over by, we've had sushi. I don't know if we had it at Mr. Chow's, but we've had Beverly Hills, whatever.
True that.
And he said Val Vista and Guad. I think I went the next day, met Saki. And all I got to say is that primo roll is amazing.
Amazing, right?
My favorite roll.
No, it hands down my favorite.
Yeah, my favorite roll. And of course, so we did the primo roll, the cowboy roll, and then we tried. So anyway, it was amazing. So that was that. That was Friday night. We got our sushi fix. Obviously, I want to say Saturday night ran into you. Our boy Frank had a 40th birthday party.
Shout out to Frank.
I got big Frank.
The big 4-0.
Yeah, Frank the Tank.
Yep.
And so anyway, so he had 2 party buses, not one, but 2 party buses
Right.
going to 5 different bars.
Right.
So and then he actually asked me to come out of retirement, to do the DJing for one of the buses. So DJ such and such came out of retirement.
Hold on. For those that don't know, Mitch is a man of many talents, and one of his many talents is being a DJ. And I used to have this bar back in the day. It's still there. It's called
Well, now it's called Beast of Bourbon, but shout out to Bricks.
it used to be Bricks back in the day. And so Mitch was in there. He used to come in every weekend and DJ.
Well, they stole me from another bar. Actually, true story.
True that.
I had 3 nights a week in Mesa. Go top that and he DJ out there.
He was all over the place. But Mitch hadn't, didn't have a DJ name yet. So I came up with what?
So let me just say this. So he's like, man, what's your DJ name? And I'm so anti. I'm the DJ. I'm cool, because DJ's job. I've been to more clubs than these DJs DJ'd, and so the job of the DJ, in my opinion, is to play the music that people like. I mean, yeah, you have your format, you have your whatever else, but at the end of the day, it's people dancing, having a good time, and leaving going, man, I love that place, I love that music. Not like my format, if you don't like it, I'm too cool, you know. And I've seen that many places around the country, so I kind of am anti that super cool DJ, you know. And so when people ask what you're doing, I don't know, I'm not into all that shit. Well, then finally Paul pops in. We're calling you DJ such and such. It actually kind of stuck.
It stuck,
It
yeah.
actually stuck. So yeah, so Paul came up with that name. So we had a great time. What would you think of the music on the bus?
Oh, it was phenomenal. I'm talking about. So it was a all '80s vibe, and when I tell you, it brought back your childhood, and everybody's
Singing loud.
Chan. It was amazing. You did, man. You killed. Matter of fact, you need to send me that playlist.
Thank you.
You absolutely killed that.
And let me say this real quick. I got my Rain Man on because my phone, I got a new phone over the weekend or whatever. It wasn't working, so I used my girl's phone real quick to get my Apple Music going. And so I'm going to work them all.
Y'all still using them Samsungs?
No, don't worry about it. So we were having some.
Yeah, it's directed at you too, Greedy.
Hey,
And real quickly, in about 20 minutes, did a 35 song playlist, in that order of what I wanted, what I thought would work. Got my Rain Man on real quick, got in the 80s vibe, and it seemed like, everybody was like having a good time. So yeah, no, it was great to do, Frank's party. I don't remember the end of the evening.
Oh man,
but I just want to put this out there for our younger listeners. 80s music is what you find on the oldies channel, just so you know.
Or it's what actually your favorite rappers sample every so often now.
That too.
Exactly. But no, I mean, we had an amazing time. And like you said, by the end of the night, I think all of us were feeling a little bit. But you know what? So we were bar hopping. We're crawling. Every time you're on the bus, you get off. You don't know where you're at. You kind of disoriented a little bit. I didn't know what bar. So I actually got left at RTO's, but I was waiting for my I was waiting for my son. He came up and
Oh,
joined.
my bad if we ate a little bit of your food.
It's all good.
He left like if I remember correctly, it started to get cloudy.
Yeah.
Paul ordered the tater tot plate, he always orders.
Yeah.
There's Paul's plate with the cheese and the whatever, and he just left, and he left. We're like, Paul, leave. I don't know. He went to go see Devon. I don't know. And so, what's it called? I remember we started grabbing a bunch, just like we do in Laughlin.
Yeah.
Whoever goes to the bathroom when they eat their chili nachos. So yeah,
That's fun. No, so we saw that RTOs. We actually saw. Well, he saw and I saw a kid that grew up in my house. So yeah, Matt. Yeah. So that he's a server there. It's just it's just coming full circle.
Oh, well.
And so we sat there and chopped it up a little bit, and then my son took me back over and we joined the party and stuff.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was good seeing him. It was good seeing Devon. Shout out to NMD.
So it was. I loved it because that night was it was good seeing
Good people.
Yeah, good people, and then like I said, top it off, hanging out with my son. It was kind of incredible.
You got the best of both worlds. You got the music, you got the good people, you got the bus,
Yeah.
and then you got to kick it with your son.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
So my weekend. I mean, other than that, is I went to Westgate, hung out in Westgate. What was that on? That was on Saturday. I hung out in Westgate on Friday, and I can't believe how how much has grown over there. You don't. I mean, they got all the little bars that you can bar hop over there, or something like that. But they have this. Actually, I'm in the pickleball now, so
Yep.
they got a pickleball court over there. But you can also throw bags over there. You can drink, and it's coming up. They got Pop Stroke that's over there. So Dave and Buster's. That little area is self-contained. It's a great. If you go over there, it's a great date night. If you're on that side of town, it's a great date night. Definitely. They got and then across the freeway, they actually have what's it called? Top Golf. There you go. So, like I said, it's a great night. Great.
They're
date.
building that new Via resort out there too.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know. I'm definitely. I mean, water. It looked like a big ass water park. All that shit like that.
Yeah, it's gonna have like a Mattel theme park.
Yep.
It's gonna have 7 pools, swim up bars, big concert venue in the middle. You can watch concerts from the
Barbie
pool.
and Masters of the Universe, all that
Yeah,
stuff.
the Marvel. That's the Mattel land or whatever.
Right.
And the hotel is supposed to be top notch. I think they already have 1 or 2 Vi hotels in other states,
Okay.
and then they awarded a hotel out here, and it's super secretive. Like they're keeping a lot of things.
I've heard 7 pools and the biggest, like 2,200 rooms, biggest hotel.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be absolutely dope.
Probably means we get another Super Bowl soon.
Oh well, that's what I'm saying. Is it's going to be set up for the next time we're going to have. I mean, we get it every like 4 years,
Maybe 6 years.
yeah, something like that. So, speaking of football, Nick, how was your weekend?
From what I remember, So lucky enough for me, I got chosen and from my office to be a guest of the Arizona Cardinals and fly with the team out to LA to watch them take on the Rams. Fortunately, the game didn't turn out so well. You know, they lost pretty easily, but the whole weekend was amazing. So, you know, Friday midday they meet us at the airport and they give us a little welcome gift. There's about 30 of us, are all different sponsors of the Cardinals in different facets, and dropped us on a plane, flew us out to LA, bussed us to. We stayed at the Ritz Carlton in the Marina Del Rey, which is
Bad,
beautiful
not
area
bad.
over there.
Mhm.
You know, dropped our bags off or walk into a champagne welcome.
Ooh.
They have our room keys already laid out. I didn't have to do any check-in. Just go in, drink some champagne, get your room key, go up to the room. Came back down like 10 minutes later. Out by the pool, they had a welcome reception with just food, open bar. We hung out there for like 4 or 5 hours. And then about 9:30, 10 o'clock, I was like, you guys want to roll out? So me and three of the guys from my office, we rolled out to Manhattan Beach, which is a dope area
Yeah.
in LA, right in LA area.
That's only like 10, 15 minutes from the airport, which is
Yeah,
crazy.
it's like 10
Yeah.
minutes from the airport,
Mhm.
and it's crazy because the streets are super steep down to the beach,
Mhm.
but it's all bars and restaurants all up and down each of the streets down there. And we went to this, I believe it was called Shellback Tavern, which was like just a cool divey bar,
Say Brokeback Mountain? No.
divey bar packed with people all throughout that place. And then, you know, we drank there and then we went across the street, watched the end of that Colorado game, which I couldn't believe that Stanford came.
Broke your heart, huh?
Sounds like you bet on him.
I did.
Of course.
You can tell Nick's voice when he bets on games or not. I can't believe.
Greedy.
Yeah.
But we watched the end
Needy
of that game, and then
What are they, 29-0 at halftime or something?
so about 11:30, a couple of the guys are like, you know, they're a little bit older, like we're going back. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna stay. So throw them in an Uber, sent them back, and me and one other guy hit about
I'm not leaving.
Yeah. Not going nowhere. We hit about 4 other bars, and then we found this little pizza spot. We got some pizza. I just remembered that we did that. I bought a hat from one of the bars. They had like this string going from like one side of the bar to the other with just hats all over it, and they have like 50 different styles. So I just was like, give me an all black hat, and so I picked out a hat with the logo of the bar on it. And yeah, by like 2 in the morning, me and the guy jump in the Uber. Both of us pass out in the back. We're wasted. Um, I wake up, the Uber like guy like turns around and's like, hey, and I'm like, ugh. And we're in the hotel parking lot and up by the valet. And then I hit my buddy. I'm like, hey, we're here. And that was the last thing I remember. I don't remember getting up to my
You
room.
don't remember calling me?
I don't remember. Did I call you?
He called me on Friday.
Oh,
Hey, he was.
I did. I actually
Hey.
wanted you to place a bet for me. I do remember a little bit.
Rehab.
He was in rare form, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my mom would probably agree with you. So I passed out. So
So did you get lucky?
yeah, I got lucky. I made it up to my room. So I passed out, and then I woke up at like 8:30 in the morning, and I was just the room was spinning.
Mm.
There was like a little crack of
The room
light
still spins for you?
sometimes. So there's a little crack of light coming through the blind, the shades, and got up. I closed them. I drank like 2 bottles of water that they had left in the room, and I was like, "Do I get up?" And I was like, "Nah, I'm gonna go back to bed." So I kept on expecting like the other guys that I was with on the trip to call and be like, "Hey, we're gonna go get breakfast," or nobody called till about noon, and I was finally like, they're like, "Oh, you finally awake?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "We're gonna grab some lunch," and I was like, "All right." So I got up, grabbed some lunch, watched some football. Then I went back to the room and passed out for like another 3 hours. And then on Saturday night, they bust us all up to Malibu when we went to Nobu in Malibu, which is like the ultra baller spot. Like we pulled into the parking lot and there's like one of the Bentley SUVs. There's like 3 different, Mercedes G Wagons, just all decked out like the high super end ones, Porsches, Lamborghini, like everything. Just the lineup of cars in there was just unbelievable. I was just like, damn, like
Check
check it out.
Malibu.
At Malibu, yeah. And so as we're walking in, I see all these TV cameras, like they're filming like TV show there. I'm like, what are they filming? And so we're just like walking, a big group of us all lined up going in, and we come around the corner and I see this guy standing there, and this lady's like interviewing him right in front of the Nobu sign, and it's actually the owner, Nobu Matsu Hisha, I think his name is, and he's
Bless you.
Yeah. And he's just hanging out front, and they're doing a documentary on him. So,
Oh, wow.
so we,
Netflix?
I don't know, I didn't find out, but I'm gonna get the info from the Cardinals because they asked about it.
There you go.
But then they took us to this back room, and it was just one of the most incredible spreads you ever see. Like open bar, like they had this guy that was mixing drinks. A couple of people I was with got old fashions that they said were some of the best they've ever had. Just you walk around, they had appetizers just for the first hour, just all different kinds of stuff coming, like tuna tacos and the sea bass and like this lettuce wrap and just skewers of like chicken and beef, and it just never stopped. It just kept coming, rock shrimp and all that stuff. Even like little crab things. So
I love crab things.
I don't even know I was just eating stuff. And I'm not a big fish guy, but I was eating everything that came in the ship. I was just eating. It was amazing. So finally, like after an hour, everybody kind of gets their seats, and they pop out this menu, and it's like an 8-course meal. And they start bringing stuff to the table, and it goes on for 3 hours. And it's like they start out with this kind of fish and this and this, and then some. They had like this steak, and then they had an assortment of rolls, and they had like a toro, which I love, which is the tuna belly. It was super expensive compared to just regular tuna, and just a whole tray.
So it's not Starkist.
No, it's not. By any means.
What about chicken of the sea?
But not chicken of the sea. It's delicious. I mean, it tastes like chicken of the sea because it's delicious. But so they just keep it coming, and then they clear all the food off after like 3 hours, and then dessert comes, and then they come around. They're serving espresso and espresso martinis, and people are getting cappuccinos, and so everybody's just continuous to drink, and we eat all these things, and then the owner guy, that Nobu guy, he actually came in and like introduced himself to everybody, and then he like came around, shook everybody's hand.
Did he tell you what the special ingredient was going to be?
We got to take pictures with him, and so I asked the waitress, and she's like, he's only there maybe 3 times a year, 3 days a year.
And this is one of them.
Yeah, because he owns over 50 restaurants worldwide. Plus, he now owns a hotel chain.
Oh, wow.
Nobu Hotels. So
yeah, they got him in Vegas. I've actually stayed there.
He travels all over the world. So the fact that he just happened to be there on that night, and then he heard that the Cardinals people were going to be there. So
and that greedy Nick from 2 on the 10.
Greedy Nick from 2 on the 10. I got something funny about that. So he came over and shook everybody's hand.
Are you sure he's not the guy from Pickle Park?
Yes. This guy was way older. This guy was way older than the guy from.
Hey, do you like this? That's exactly what happened. I know it is. I know it is, right?
Something like that. So anyway, so we get it done, and by the time we're out of there, like one of the guys I was with probably drank like 8 or 9 old fashions, and he's an older gentleman. I work with him like 15 years now, and he's funny. He was drunk. He's like, "You make sure I get back to the hotel. I'm wasted. I can barely walk or talk," and he was like stumbling all over the place. So we go out, we start getting on the bus, and as I walk out the door, some guy's like, "Hey, do you see the paparazzi out there?" And I turn, and all the way down at the end, behind all the cars at the street, there's 2 paparazzi guys with their cameras. So I lift up my phone, and I go to snap a picture of them. And one of the guys pops up his camera and goes, snap, snap, and snap like 3 pictures of me real quick. And it's crazy because they don't use like a normal flash. It's like a red color. It's like infrared or something. I don't know what they use, but it wasn't like a bright white flash. It was like a red flash, like 3 or 4 times. Huh. And then he gave me the thumbs up. So I was like, I gave him the thumbs up back, and then we were walking. I'm like, I'm gonna go find out who he's taking pictures of. So I came back over to him. I'm like, "Hey, you see any celebrities tonight?" He's like, "Nobody special." And we talked for a minute, and then I walked away. And then I was drunk, and I forgot to ask. I was like, "Where can I get?" I wanted to get that picture because I took a picture coming out of Nobu. I think that'd be dope to have like fancy picture of myself. I'd be like, "Greedy Nick coming out." I post that on
after losing another bet.
Greedy Nick comes out of Nobu on a rampage. So, but we got back on the bus. They drove us back to the Ritz-Carlton, and then we had an open bar drinks the rest of the night. And after the first night, I was like,
what do you think that tab hit for?
I mean, if I had to guess, easy 45, 50 grand.
Goodness gracious.
Just the amount of, you're talking 30 to 40 people and food and drinks for 4 hours straight.
Yeah.
And like spare no expense on what you want, It was just amazing. And then, like I said, we got back to the hotel. We had more drinks. And it was funny because after the first night, I woke up. I'm like, I'm going to go light tonight because we have the game tomorrow. I don't want to enjoy the game. And I was the last person, other than some other people from a different group, were sitting at this table just talking. I was the last person to go out. The bar had already closed down. Everybody was gone. I finally walked up. I don't even know what time it was, and went to bed. And I was just like, man, tomorrow's gonna be a rough day at the game.
But you got back on the horse and did it again?
Well, I got up. We had to be down there at I think it was 9 a.m. to like a breakfast and like mimosas and Bloody Marys, and then jump on the bus. And then they bussed us to the game, and it was cool. We got to SoFi Stadium. I've never been to. Like it's a whole.
Yeah, how's that stadium?
It's crazy because it's in the middle of a neighborhood.
Okay.
It's like in the middle of Inglewood,
Inglewood.
and you just you're driving through like neighborhoods, and all of a sudden you see like these little like shops and things with signs that say parking $60, and you're still like 2 miles from the stadium, and you're like, damn, because there's not a ton of parking, and it's like it's in a neighborhood. It's everything around it is like there's some like houses that backed up to the street that the stadium is built on,
Wow,
and the stadium complex has the Forum is in there, so the old where the Lakers used to play.
Right.
Then you have SoFi Stadium. Next door to that, there's a casino. And then next door to that, they're now building the Clippers' new stadium.
Okay.
So the Clippers are moving out of Staples, and they're moving to this new stadium right in that same complex. So that complex, when it's all said and done, is going to be just like an entertainment district kind of thing that they're doing. But the SoFi Stadium looks like a big, giant, like flying saucer. It's crazy. And so we get there, the bus is right into the front, and then we get off, we go inside, and the first thing you do is we have a pregame field pass. So they take us, and it's like a maze getting through the stadium, like windy downstairs and through hallways. We get down to the field level, and they take us out. They have us in this area, and we're just hanging out, and the players come out in the field, they're warming up, practicing, we're taking pictures and all kinds of stuff. Kyler Murray's just standing there, with his leg sleeve on, just kind of hanging out, and then
Wondering what team he's going to play on next
yeah,
year.
probably. And then we're chilling, and next thing I know, like some security comes over and some other people, and I look, it's Michael Bidwell, the owner of the Cardinals.
Wow. Okay.
So he comes in and he starts introducing himself to all the people in the area that we're in for all the guests of the Cardinals. So we got to meet him, talk about a little bit of what we do with the Cardinals, our partnership, and then we got to take a picture with him as well. Really nice guy. I know there were some articles that came out about him, but he's from everything that I saw on this trip, he's like super nice, respectable guy. He treated everybody that I saw with the utmost respect. So, you can't always believe what you read in the papers. You got to, make your own decisions and meet someone and get to know them. And
There you go.
if you still feel the same way, great. But if you don't, don't always just think that what they say in the papers is 100% legit about everybody. But so we stayed on the field for like probably almost 2 hours, hour and a half, hour, 45 minutes, just hanging out, taking pictures. Started getting a little warm down there because it is an open stadium, even though it has like a cover over the top. It's still open air stadium. And then they took us up to we had 2 different suites with a full spread of food and drinks. We hung out there for another, watched the whole game. And then, a little bit after the game, they are, all right, we're going to head down. And I bussed us back to the airport. And then we flew out on Sunday night. I got home late Sunday night, and I've been licking my wounds ever since. It was a long, it's a once in a lifetime experience. Like, even if you had unlimited money, it'd be hard to put that kind of experience together with just all the different things that you did. And it was awesome. The game, the stadium's amazing. They have this scoreboard, like screen thing that wraps around the whole top of the stadium. And before the game they had like these big squares, and it had all the different NFL games on from the morning. So you could sit there and just watch the other games.
There you go.
And then during the game, it shows highlights. It has stats from the game. It shows stats like stat leaders from other games. It's
scoreboard, right?
But it wraps around the whole thing. It's crazy. It's like overload because there's so many screens and lights and things flashing all over. It was like almost hard to concentrate on the game. I found myself looking up a lot, like looking at all the just stuff going up.
Well, you're checking your sports bets.
That too. So it wasn't a great weekend for sports bets, but
So
made up for it for
for you guys don't know, Nick is a big deal at All Copy. So that's his name of his company. So
All Copy products. So
Yep.
based out of Denver, but we have a location here, Nebraska, Kansas City. We're all over the central and west coast here. So
there you go.
and so that was, like I said, it was a long weekend, but it was definitely an amazing time and one that I'll never forget. And I thank the Cardinals for that because, like I said, even if you had expendable income and you could just blow a bunch of money it would still be hard to put on that kind of a weekend for somebody.
I could do it.
You know?
It would be tough. It'd be tough. But yeah,
You can create that experience.
it was crazy.
Huh?
It was a good time.
Yeah. You think you can get a playlist for it?
That was the one thing that was missing. We didn't have Mitch on.
Yeah.
When we were driving everywhere.
All right, man. Well, let's talk a little news here. Jada Pinkett Smith in the news again. I mean, she's come out with these memoirs, and according to these memoirs, one of the things is she sold crack cocaine when she was a teenager.
Okay.
And my question is, and it's kind of you guys, is like,
What's wrong with her?
what? I mean, why? I mean, here's the thing. You know, I've been on a celebrity status and stuff like that, and well, not as high as her, but you ain't gonna put your business out there in the street like that. What the freak is going on?
Well, she had that show too where she was like doing
Red Table or whatever.
Yeah.
Here's the thing I want to say. Like, I felt a certain way about Will Smith after the slap. I feel a totally different way now after hearing all this stuff about her. I'm like, she got him warped bad.
Right. Well, I mean, she said she thought it was a skit. I mean, if it was a skit, he would have said something to her. He was actually, listen. She had broke him down. You know, he had found out that she was. I can't speak on a relationship
Having entanglements.
with some other man.
I haven't brought him on the show.
Yeah,
To talk about it.
yeah, and then
tough.
I get it. It was not the perfect place, but I think at that point, Will was just sick of like just being beaten up, and then in front of a national audience, Chris Rock going hard on. I think say
Pause.
yeah. I don't. I mean, I don't agree what he did. I would have walked backstage. If you're gonna do that shit, I would have walked backstage so they wouldn't have seen it on camera and smacked the shit out of him. I'm gonna do that, but I wouldn't have done it on camera. And that's what I said. I don't blame him for what he did. It's how he did it.
I actually think that was more of like a cry for help from Will Smith. Like, get me away from this.
Give me the fuck
I
out.
think this. I'll tell you this.
I'm serious.
I'm just
There
saying,
might
like,
be like some other weird, like witchcrafty, like craziness going on with him.
I'll just say this. I kind of thank you on that because I mean I don't know about all that, but I'll say this: this world is not what it seems. Holly weird is not what it seems.
right.
I mean, let's just start with that. If you can understand those two concepts, you might be open minded enough to go, okay. I mean, is it really what it is, or is this always, is this always a storyline for us to talk about? And also, in the same token, trickle down and just kind of set back society, people like so many years because it's like we're watching all this. It just feels like agendas all the time to me. Like, oh, let's demasculate another, big star. But in the same token, here's the funny thing: I've heard rumors about Will Smith forever. To be honest with you,
I mean, you've heard rumors about the relationship.
I've heard rumors that he was funny. I mean,
Oh, really?
I know disrespect to. Let me take that word.
I just heard they had an open marriage. It was openly known thing in Hollywood that they had an open marriage and was going back and forth.
I've heard there was a crew of. I mean, let's put it this way. Again,
Well, I don't think she minded that Will stepped out on the marriage because she didn't have the same equipment that he was going after. Is I think what Mitch is.
yeah, I'm trying to say that. Oh, and I'll just start with this. I'll start with a couple things. First of all, Will Smith. Okay, he has ties to Quincy Jones.
Okay.
Okay. If you really want to do some homework, there's enough info out there on Quincy Jones, even though they wiped the web and stuff. Quincy Jones, I'll just say this: if people remember Tupac's first time he talked about Quincy Jones, he said Quincy Jones had come up to him because he was, trying to talk to his daughter, and said he wanted to, what should I say, bend him over.
Oh wow.
He said that to Pac, and Pac flipped out. It was in a couple publications, and all of a sudden you can't find anything about that right now ever.
Speaking of Pac,
Which
I don't know if this was a joke or not, but I saw that Jada Pinkett Smith said that Tupac had alopecia, and
Yeah.
when they were together, and that he didn't want to bring it up,
and so now she has alopecia.
and now she has alopecia.
Let me get back to the let me get back to
This
this.
coincidence? The
Let,
coincidence?
let me get back to this Quincy Jones thing real quick, just because there's a lineage here.
Okay.
First of all, Quincy Jones produced Michael Jackson,
Okay.
and we all know Michael. I mean, I'm not saying look at all the allegations.
Yeah.
and all the
I got you.
whatever. Okay, Quincy Jones. If you look at an article, I want to say it was back in 2018. People were saying that he was senile, but he came out in the article and he said that was it Marlon Brando and Richard Pryor used to have sex, and a few others used to, and that was the thing. And it was like, so he was basically talking about that. Then you take the Tupac thing, and then you also look at Quincy and Will Smith. If you watch this one story that Will Smith said when he first started and his come up, He was with a guy named Benny Medina, that's who actually the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is supposed to be based on.
Oh,
It's
really?
Benny Medina, his life in Philadelphia.
Okay.
So they were. Will Smith was a rapper, but he owed a lot of money. Let me take that back. That's what allegedly I heard. He owed a little bit of money, taxes or whatever else. He was trying to make his way in Hollywood, and he went to this party with Benny Medina, and he was in the living room. I think it's a very well told story by Will Smith about motivation and being ready. And people look at it that way. I looked at the other aspects that were being spoken on and go, okay, this doesn't add up to me. And what was said was Will Smith said Quincy Jones was at the party. He got introduced to Benny from Benny. Quincy Jones goes, all right, let me see what you got, kid. Show me right now. He goes, how about we go in a week, and I can do this. And he goes, you just had your opportunity in a week. I'm not even interested. And so I guess Will Smith went right there, and said, I just started acting in front of him, whatever, et cetera. And then he said that at the party was the VP of NBC at the time. Was it Brandon or Brian Tartikoff or whatever his name was?
Mhm.
They said Quincy Jones goes to Tartikoff and tells him to give them a show. So what kind of power did Quincy Jones have to tell the VP of NBC to give them the Fresh Prince? And so that's what greenlighted the Fresh Prince, was him doing that. Now, Will Smith also at the time jumped into his first movie role, which was 6 Degrees of Separation.
Mhm.
If anybody sees that, just look at the character that he played in there, what he had to do. It's almost like the dress wearing, it wasn't, he kind of had to act a certain way or whatever in that film, et cetera. And it just, I don't know. There's a few different things. I've heard a lot of different rumors. I don't want to throw stuff out there, but I've even heard in Atlanta, some of the parties, I've heard T.I.'s name pop through. I've heard a few things. I'll just say that. I'm not going to say too much more, but again, so could this be a cover up? Could this be just some funny style stuff? Could this be,
But why is it coming out now, though? I mean, that's what I'm saying is why, right now, Will Smith's not doing any movies. He's not acting right now. But this is why is Jada coming out like this?
I mean, it could be face value. I just think,
Attention.
this is Hollywood.
Yeah.
Hollywood. It just seems like there's always something behind something to get people to react, whether it's a distraction or it's to get people to jump out of their own lives and be a little less structured. I could see that too. Because at the end of the day, they're trying to tear down the families, in my opinion. Like the people that run the places in the darkest fucking corners are trying to tear down what a guy and a girl are, and are trying to just make everything, just anything goes. And I think seeing this and seeing how you take a powerful Hollywood figure and you basically crush him and demasculate him, I think that that helps push an agenda.
Well, see, I mean, stories like this is what makes me scared about like dating, in this whole date, this day and age, is because you don't know, like, especially at our age, is you don't know what you're getting, right now. And the dating world is crazy. I mean, these dating apps, I mean, somebody pissed and shit in the dating pool.
The dating pool.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying is like, once you find that person, hold on to them, some bitches, because
Well, I'll say this. And I think I'm trying to take that advice more than and coming from what I was to what this is. Thank you. So I'll just say this: like, what you see out there and what people's morals and values and loyalties are, it's like, man, you find that person, you better embrace that and cultivate that, because I don't know, man, the way this world's going, and I'm not doom or gloom, but you guys see what's out there.
Right.
It's crazy. I don't know. I can just say it's crazy from many different aspects that I've seen, and obviously read, obviously see videos. I mean, let's even go for a quick second. Dating.
Right.
What about the Dodgers player? You see, that's the Dodgers player that the girl, she purposely targeted him.
Oh, you talking about Trevor Bauer? Yeah, Trevor Bauer. Yeah. He had text messages and all type of stuff.
Yeah, so you saw that real quick. Since we're talking dating and the times we're in,
Right.
she basically said, "I'm going to get that bag, 51 million or whatever." So they started dating. She claims that he raped her, but the same day on the claim of the rape, she takes a video while he's sleeping, smiling and making all these faces, in the morning. And then somehow that gets out, all this other stuff. But at the time when the allegations were made, when she made the allegations, the dude gets banned from Major League Baseball for 2 years, loses $150 million contract, right?
Yeah, something.
And his reputation.
Right.
And basically what he gets back now is he can speak about it. And so now he's done his little campaign to let everybody know, show those videos and everything else. But at that point, it's too late. First of all, that girl cost him how much, and his reputation? She should be in jail for life.
Yeah.
Second of all, the fact that I've seen interviews with her afterwards and how smug she is, and it doesn't matter. It's like, oh,
She's like, well, I was just joking.
yeah.
And then like I saw the one interview, the interviewer was like, you texted your friend that you wanted him to choke you out, and then he actually does choke you out, and then you claim that's a assault, but you were asking for it. And her response was like, well, it was taken out of context, and I was just joking with my friends. And it's like, and the interviewer's like, what are the odds that you're going to joke about that and then that actually happens in the same period?
That's crazy. In this day and age, people can't be honest. They can't be real, and until you put the evidence in their face, and even then, they'll still try and deny. And it's like that's the world we live in. Everybody uses it to get by. They use what they know. They use because of trauma or hurt or what they see in this world with all the social media stuff, and then all this other stuff we read about the Jada Pinkett Will Smith relationships. Even these situations, it just makes people think they can come up on that. In my opinion, and it's like
And
crazy.
it also, like, I mean, how many lives get ruined over stuff that's not even true? Like, people just, it's once even it's just a rumor. It's like the social media, like,
Collateral damage is done.
yeah, they just, it's like the masses just, they attack you and they don't relent. And it's like, I mean, you could say the right and the left or whatever, and they're against each other. But anytime like anybody's in trouble for anything, there's always one group of people that are just going to go at them and do not let relent and do not let go, no matter how good of things the person does after the fact, or how many things, or if it even comes to light that it wasn't true. You don't ever see those same people apologizing. They just jump on to the next person that they're
Exactly.
going to bash.
There's no accountability.
No accountability at all.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you think, okay, so I'm just going to put all of us on blast,
Okay.
right now,
So you're saying we old, huh? I already know.
we're, you notice they both, I love it. You both took a sip on this. Got to get ready with this. It's like, so we all are dating younger
Oh.
at this point, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You thought I was going to say something else?
Oh, no, I know what you're saying.
Okay. I'm not going to do this like that. But we're all dating younger right now. Do you think that is a hindrance, or do you think that it is beneficial in this day and age, in this climate right now?
I think that's on the individual. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like just because you're dating younger doesn't mean that the person isn't mature. Doesn't mean that the person doesn't have life experience. Um, doesn't mean that we, as being the older person, can't have that younger mentality or younger energy. I mean, again, there's got to be a balance. There's got to be, the whatever, the attraction, the connect, the things you have in common. I mean, I think it just depends. I think it depends on the individuals, truthfully. I think, yeah, I think especially the age graphic, like it depends on how young too we're talking to. That's the other thing, how young we're talking.
But you're saying the maturity level. So I mean, you may have a 20-something that is, mature. I mean, is that okay? I mean, right now, I mean, you take it. Uh, what's it? Robert De Niro right now. He's what, 80 years old. He's about to have a baby with his. Well, he did have a baby with his 26-year-old, girlfriend. So,
Or 29 or something. Right?
29.
No, was on? Are we doing De Niro or was it
Chino, they both
Pacino?
Pacino. They both did.
babies.
Yeah. They both didn't just have
Trying to
babies,
one
right?
up each other. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the
exactly.
one gets in the movie, the other one's got to do better. The one had a baby at 70 something, the other one has a baby at 80. It's like, hey,
So what's a cutoff for babies then? Bet you gonna have a baby?
I remember.
Yeah. See, this is what we do on the 2 on the 10. We put you on the spot.
No.
Hold on, what? What?
I'm saying, I remember I took my stance on the whole kid thing early on.
Oh, I just want you to reiterate so the folks at home can
in case you didn't listen to that episode.
Exactly. In case you missed that episode, you hear it on this. Yeah, go ahead and take a sip, brother.
All right, so funny you say that. Okay, I'll own the question. I took that stance. At the time I was a single man. At the time I did have all my preconditions, and I still to this day will say right now I would not want to bring a kid into this world. The way this world is, what we're talking about here, and I do think things are changing quickly, and I think they're changing permanently for a world that I am glad my startup years are not going to be in. I'll just be honest.
Right.
With that said, when you get into a relationship, I mean, and I'm talking a serious relationship, and that's that person for you. And I would say you have to at least sit there and talk things out.
Okay.
Again, I mean, it's only fair. I couldn't sit there and go, "This is it, no way," blah 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 blah.
Hmm.
And then again, you'd at least have to sit and talk these things out.
Okay.
And so obviously, the person I'm with, obviously I know we've had those talks already.
Hmm.
I mean, and again, and I think we're on the same page.
Hmm.
But again, we've had those talks.
Okay.
I'll just say that. And
There you
that's
go.
probably the best way to do
There you
it.
go. Nick, like I said, I'm putting this all on blast. We either dating or dated younger women.
Yeah.
Right now, you got a great girl. She,
But shout out to the older women too, because it's not done.
no, I'm not knocking.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
because I noticed we've been bringing this up a few issues, but that's
Right.
because we happen to be going through that.
Yeah, exactly.
That is,
I'm just giving it so. Hey, listen, I'm not. Listen, my ex-wife was 2 years older than me. I dated older women for the longest time. I just started this maybe 2 years, no, almost 3 years ago. Got on Nick's boat, before he's been on that.
You're welcome.
you have to be this age to ride the pride.
He's been on that train for a long time. So no, I don't listen. We're just talking about what's going on in our life. Don't
Yeah.
read into it that we like older women.
Something's better than that.
So, yeah, exactly. So I love you, older women. You can get the business too. So anyway, Nick,
Yeah. What up? How's it going? Welcome to the show.
yeah, you think about having some babies?
Uh,
I know your mom wants some more.
grandkids, some more grandkids.
Right.
That maybe live.
I thought Amy took care of that.
Well, then she moved out of state, so
Mm-hmm.
she wants more grandkids. Me and my girl talked about it too. She obviously wants more. I for sure could do one.
Okay.
I know I could do one, but I think
You sound like you're ordering an appetizer.
no. It's. I mean, I look at where
I'm not kind of hungry. I could do one.
I just look at where I'm at my
popcorn for
age
the
in my
movie.
life, and I've worked hard to try to put a nest egg together so I could retire early and not continue to work into my 60s and 70s. Like I want to be able to enjoy the later years of my life, and if I start popping out kids now, that's gonna probably delay or cancel that altogether because you're gonna have to put two kids through school and growing up and all that stuff. So
Trade school.
the maybe a trade school, you never know. But no, I battled. I battled with it because I was like, do I really want to like sacrifice where my life was?
Think about somebody else besides you.
Well, yeah, no, it's a little bit selfish, and I understand. I mean, they don't call me greedy Nick for nothing, but no, but it's I had to really think about it because where my life was going prior to meeting this girl, I didn't think that was going to happen for me, and I was content with going out, having a good time, enjoying life, and not being settled down and not.
Hey,
having
what
to worry
happened
about
to
things.
us? What happened to
Oh.
us?
You find the right one sometimes, and it changes your perspective. So, like I said, when we first were together, we kind of talked about it, and I was kind of anti like kids, not anti kids, but like to the point where I was like, I don't think I'm gonna have a bunch of kids right now. I'm gonna be 45. Like, what am I gonna have kids into my 50s? Now I've softened on it, and I'm like, if I have one or two in the next couple years, that's not going to be that bad. Some people.
That's not gonna be that bad.
I mean,
Hey, maybe the kid can listen to the podcast and rewind this part. The 43-minute mark, 5 seconds.
Hey, he's looking up at
Episode 31.
He's looking up at Nick.
no, I don't mean it like that.
Dad, I'm gonna break your glasses.
I just mean
gonna have to-
like I'm not going to be too old to enjoy the experiences with them. That's my biggest fear is like I have a kid in my 50s and I'm not there to watch him grow up. That's the worst thing. And then to have that kid grow up without a father, like I just don't want that experience for my kids. And when I was younger, man, I would have had 2, 3, 4 kids.
Right.
But as I get older, I consciously think about I don't know how long I'm going to live.
But when you think you'd be able to provide for him better at this?
I definitely could provide for him better. We could do more stuff,
Mhm.
but at what sacrifice? I don't know how long I'm going to live. If I live maybe I die in my 60s. It's tough to
You ain't gonna leave a legacy.
I mean, I will, but I just feel bad. Bringing a kid into the world, and then if something happens to me, I mean, it could happen to anybody. But as you get older, you're just higher risk for mortality.
Yeah.
I would hate to have something happen to my kid, happen to me and not be there to watch my kid, graduate high school, do all the things that my dad was able to be there for me for. And I'm sure, that was my experience. And so that's like personal to me. Like my dad was always there. He was always able to experience everything. I mean, he's still here with me. So I just feel like I want to be able to provide that for my children. And it's scary because I'm at that age where it's like shit starts happening. You're in your mid 40s. I get out of bed. I went to bed perfectly fine. I wake up the next morning, could barely walk. My back's out. My knee hurts. I'm like, what did I do? I just went to sleep. I used to play basketball for 12 hours a day and diving everywhere and would wake up the next morning fine. Now it's like I roll over wrong in bed and I throw my back out or my elbow hurts, or it's just as you get older, you just don't know. So that's really
I don't even know what you're talking about.
my biggest, yeah, that's really my biggest fear. It's not that I don't want to have kids. It's that I just, I don't want to not be there to watch them grow up. And I don't want them to have to experience a childhood without me part of it.
I got you.
That's real. That's real.
That is dope.
What about you, Paul?
I got 3 kids that are, all my kids are grown now. I got fixed a long time ago, but just started recently. I actually want to be a dad again, and so
Hold on, hit the bomb. Hit the bomb, please. No, the bomb. The boom.
he don't know which one the bomb is,
Yeah.
but
Okay, I'll take that one.
But no, I've been kind of going back on it, back and forth on it, and got in the next 3 years before. I'll put my age out there. I'm 47 right now, so around my 51st birthday somewhere, I plan on either, you know, my wife, because I'm doing it right. I'm not gonna, last time I kind of did it backwards. I had all my kids and then married my ex-wife afterwards. But this time, I'm gonna get married first, and then, you know, I'm gonna have. I've already broken to my son. He's like, no, 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 you're not. He was like, yeah. He was like, nobody else will get my will money. I was like, you'll get plenty of money, son. I promise you. But no, I think I'll be a better dad. Here this time around. I was playing football. I was a kid raising kids when I was growing up, stuff like that. I want to do it. I want to do it again. So it's just something that I've just been going through my brain. And shoot, if De Niro can do it, and if Al Pacino can do it, I said, shit, why can't I?
Well,
But
I think if you have a kid here in the next year or two, and then you wait another 20 years, once that kid's growing and out of the house, you can pop out a couple more in your 70s and do the true De Niro.
I do it all over again. No, man, like I said, it's I get what you guys saying. Yeah, we're in some crazy times and stuff like that, but I think we'll get through it. We always do. I always think we're in the days the way things be.
See, that's the other thing too. Yeah, with everything going on, where is the world at? And again, it seems biblical to me. Don't get me wrong, I also know the cliche that everybody in their era thought it was the end of days too.
Yep.
And maybe that's part of the process, that everybody goes through, to feel that, to wherever, but in the same token, the stuff that's going on seems to be aligning a little bit more. And that's the thing to me is like, do we have 2 years of structured world? Do we have like I don't know, 2024 kind of worries me. 2030 definitely worries me with all the agendas and different things and how much control with the, they want everybody to have, electric cars and stuff like this. And then, the threat of the
Cryptocurrency.
EMP bombs and, taking out the grids. We know how fragile this world is. You take out everybody's internet. Man, what world do we even have right now? I hate to be that way, but let's be honest.
No, I got you. And if it is end of the world, I'm having an end of the world party over here. I can't tell you what's going on until the end of the world happens. But
Hey, you know what scares me about having a kid that was such an old age?
what's that?
I just hate for my wife to have to be changing the kid's diaper and my diaper at the same time.
That's going to be on you.
Well,
I'm going to be one of them youthful motherfuckers. I
Oh,
promise you.
exactly.
That is-
By the way, I went to the gym right before the podcast.
yeah. So that's the thing is I do everything in my power to keep myself young. I love when people say, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're in your 40s." That lets me know, okay, I'm doing doing something good. And I'm continuing to do something good. But Nick, you did mention about playing basketball.
Yeah.
Basketball season is a week away.
Yes.
And so we about to get into some good stuff. We're gonna have baseball, football, hockey, and basketball going on. I know your betting is gonna be on fire. Your phone is gonna definitely be running dead. But
It's gonna be something.
yeah. But let's talk about this NBA season coming up. Who's your favorite? Who you got coming out the East and West?
Okay, I'm gonna say I got it coming out the West. The Suns.
Okay. So you think that move, getting rid of DeAndre,
Oh,
moving
definitely.
him
All that. I think.
was
Yeah,
smart?
for Nurkic or whatever his
Yeah,
name is.
yeah.
I think he's more of a team player. He can shoot a three. He knows how to pick and roll. He knows how to. He knows how to.
Yeah, big man.
Yeah, exactly.
Rebound.
And then also he'll be a team player, and I think I like his skill set better for that team than Ayton, kind of in his feelings, not in his feelings, whatever else. Well, in fact, speaking of that, did you know DeAndre Ayton? Once he went to Portland, he unfollowed two Phoenix Suns. He followed everybody else still, but two of them, Booker and Katie.
Really?
Yeah. So there had to be something between that,
Gotcha.
to be in your feelings like that. But so I got the
Or
Suns.
maybe you felt like they forced him out.
I mean, could be whatever it was. But I'll say this. So I think by the time the NBA Finals come around, I think it's gonna be Suns and Bucks.
Suns and Bucks. Wow.
I
Okay.
agree.
But here's the thing. I mean, they both made some,
Major moves.
major moves in the offseason. Major moves in the offseason. Um, I don't know, man. You can never count the Warriors out. You can never count. I mean,
Lakers.
LA is just, LA is one of them teams where, I love LeBron. I make no bones about it. I don't like LA. I love LeBron. That's my thing. I make no, but he's on that team, so I root for him. I'm gonna continue to root for him. I get it. The Suns on paper definitely look like they come out the West, but I think at the end, for some reason, I think they're gonna choke, man. I really think it's gonna get crunch time, and they're gonna choke, and it's either gonna be the Warriors or it's gonna be the
Well,
Lakers.
I'll say this real quick. You know what's funny, and I'm glad the Suns are like ranked fourth.
But what's crazy that I didn't mean to cut you off is we didn't even talk about the defending champs. We just left them off.
Yeah.
We just disregarded the Nuggets. Like, they gotta go back up.
They're going to be in the mix. I think it's Suns Nuggets, Western Conference Finals presence, but I think the Lakers have a presence, Warriors have a presence, and I think those. I mean, and depending on the Clippers can stay healthy or not. The other side, obviously, you got Boston, who's heavy. The Heat are kind of, I think it's Boston, the Heat, and Milwaukee. I really think that's all it's going to be
Right.
in the East, to be honest.
I really like the Celtics coming out the East.
Yeah.
I just think they got such a young core.
Yeah.
Every year they're getting more and more experience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think what happened was Jalen finally got I think last year Jalen didn't know if he was going to get traded or not.
Mhm.
And so they made that major commitment to him, and so he knows he's going to be there for a while.
Yeah.
They got all the distractions out there, and I think they're just going to go at it. You're talking about staying healthy. If Channing Tatum doesn't get
Oh, Jed, we talking about shout out to Magic Mike.
if
Let's see
Tatum
what Paul's got on his mind.
doesn't get hurt,
Pause.
yeah. If Tatum doesn't get hurt,
Oh, Jason Tatum. Oh,
Jason Tatum. Sorry about that, not Channing. I like that motherfucker, but Jason. Yeah, if he doesn't get hurt, I think he was playing hurt.
yeah, no. The Celtics are a monster.
I will say this: I think if the Suns or the Bucks don't make the finals,
Mhm.
someone's getting fired, and possibly those teams getting blown up because you can't bring all these people together and all this salary and expense and not make it to the
Well,
championship.
let me counter this though. Right now, all the experts have the Suns third or fourth right now.
Yeah.
They're not in one, and I love that. I love that because it's the same thing. Like especially in the days of sports betting, I'll tell you right now. Tell me the first time the favorite team is going to win a title in the sports bet era, and I'm talking the last 2-3 years.
Right.
Again, we're going to see.
I
And
got you.
I'll tell you what the favorite team, which probably is the Nuggets, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
It's funny. We're gonna see. I just know that the favorite doesn't usually run like that. Not in sports betting era.
Gotcha.
I'm just curious to see if OKC takes another step forward.
They should.
They're
with
still super
Chet
young.
Chet Holmgren was coming back.
Yeah, they're still super young, but yeah, they're going to get him, and then SGA and the rest of that team. I mean, they were good last year. Do they take that next step, and are they a top 4 team in their their league division, or are they going to stay right where they're at, kind of that 6, 7, 8 spot?
I like that you bring that up. Let's talk about dark horse real quick. Is that your dark horse?
That would be my dark horse this year. I like how SGA played in the whatever that
Playoffs.
World Cup or whatever it was that they just played in, where they beat the U.S. I mean, the U.S. I don't think got a medal in that. So
Yeah, that's terrible. What do you got?
I actually like OKC too, especially if Chet Holmgren steps up. He was the first pick in the draft 2 years ago. He's a 7-footer with a handle, can shoot a three. We'll see We'll see where he's at. I think you'll see the best of him probably January, February. He's going to, probably slowly be brought up to speed. He's going to probably hit a Ricky walk just because of conditioning. But I think that, you got that kind of a talent along with, like you said, SGA and all the other young studs on OKC. I think that, they're definitely a team to look out for. I mean, as far as,
Here's a dark horse for me. The Kings, actually.
I was going to say the Kings too.
Yeah. Sacramento Kings. I like that squad, man. I like that squad a lot. I think last year they grew up in the playoffs last year.
Aaron Fox is a stud.
Yeah, stud and Sabonis, yeah. And I really like, they could be a real sleeper coming out of the West. They're gonna give some people some problems.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The one thing I'll say about OKC, I mean, it seems like that front office or whatever knows how to pick talent because, I mean, you look at KD, Westbrook, Harden.
They just don't know how to keep it.
They just, can they keep them long enough to get to that level? I mean,
you imagine if they let that team develop?
And that's the problem I have. And, everybody's always dog KD and go, oh, KD, and he had all these players. No, he had Harden they didn't re-sign Harden. How do you not bring back? You had the youngest team going to the finals.
Yeah.
And you do not bring back James Harden.
Wow. Yeah. I'm just saying that would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Just to see that development.
But here's the one thing too, and this is again why I feel KD left. The only other thing they needed was they needed a couple sharpshooters. They needed 3-and-D players, and they had a shooting guard. They had Cephalosha as a shooting guard, and that dude doesn't shoot threes. And they also had Perkins on the floor, and Perkins doesn't shoot it or score at all. So all you have to do is pack in double, triple team KD, let Westbrook kind of spaz out, and there you go. And then Harden, when they played the Heat, he was at the strip clubs all the time. That's when he scored like 11 points. True story. That's why they let him go.
I think he went to Houston.
Yeah, and that's why he wants to go back. But the funny thing is the narrative of the people that don't know is it's KD's fault. He had all this talent, but he was the best 3-point shooter on the team. The second best was Derek Fisher, 38-year-old Derek Fisher. Gotcha. You look at across the way, you look at the Heat. What did they do for LeBron? They got Mike Miller, they got Jones, they got Battier, and guess what? You try and double, triple LeBron, swing three. That's why in that series those guys shot 70% from three.
Didn't they also have Ray Allen too?
Yeah, they have Ray Allen too. And people act like. I mean, you got to. If you want to talk sports, you got to at least talk. You got to look at the parts of everything and compare it, apples to apples. Yeah. And again, that's today's game. 3-and-D. If you're packing in the paint, they're going to hit a three, and you got to have 3-point shooters.
That's dope. That's dope. Hey, shout out to Houston strip clubs.
Hey, Yep.
You're sitting in Atlanta here have some of the best strip clubs. Not that I ever go to strip clubs.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna come to the end of the show. Gonna get to our thoughts of the day. Let's start out with Mitchell there. What you got a thought of the day, baby?
You know what? I'm just gonna freestyle my thought of the day today. Okay, so you know what's funny, Paul? We were on the bus, and I was with my girl,
right?
And you sit there, and it was kind of funny because you brought up, you sat there. We're like within the first 30 minutes show. Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, I better be one of the best men at your wedding. Whatever. I'm sitting there going wedding, and me and her start cracking up, and I'm like, and it's funny because more than not, like we've gone out to a few different places, and I swear on everything, people will come up to us. It's like 3 or 4 different times, and we were at a bar in Phoenix a couple weeks ago, and some 35-year-old dude comes up. Hey, I just want to say, you guys look so in love, and
You guys' chemistry is off the charts, man.
And so I was kind of just bringing that up. Thought of the day was just, where'd you get that from, real quick? Because we were laughing. Because I'll be honest, we talked about it. We're talking about it.
Right.
Okay. I don't know when, what,
Yeah.
And how. Again, we're talking about different ideas and stuff like this, so that's an exclusive because I keep shit to myself. But me and her were talking. So when you just busted in, you're like, hey, I want to, hey, you better motherfucker, I'm gonna cut you if I'm not one of the people in your wedding. And I look, and we just started cracking up because again, it's just discussions,
right?
Whatever. But so I just thought that was funny. My thought of the day is how the fuck you.
Man, like I said, the chemistry that you and Chris have are incredible. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I dream of that. I mean, what you guys have is like amazing. It's like some storybook stuff, and I love watching it, and I love seeing you, and I love seeing her like break. People don't know you like I know you, and like how this hard exterior you have, and she's softened that, and I love that, and that's why I know like you're embracing everything that comes with it. Because let me tell you right now, not every relationship is fucking roses and rainbows, okay?
Of course.
And you're gonna go through trials and tribulations, but how you guys deal with it coming out, it's
well. Thank you for that. We actually ended up getting an argument that night.
Yeah.
But I'll say that I should probably. But by the same token, it's not the argument or whatever it is. It's how you rebound from how you feel.
Yeah, there you go.
And I'll tell you what, the few arguments we've had, because I don't want to be on the front street and go, oh, our relationship's perfect, or it's this or whatever else. I don't want to ever come across like that. But I will say this: the issues that we have had, or whatever else, have only made us stronger.
There you go.
And again,
That's all they
it just
do.
takes communication, and it takes knowing where your partner's at, and and the goals you guys have. So
There you go.
I'll say that.
Grady, what you got?
My thought of the day is not to let my girl listen to this podcast. Because if she finds out Mitch is and his girl beating us to the altar, she's gonna whip my ass.
I didn't put a time frame on shit. We're just discussing stuff.
So I mean, and
daydreaming.
to your point, Paul, like not all relationships are perfect, and me and my girl have had some issues in the past, and we went through a lot in the beginning, but I know that some of the strongest bonds are forged through fire, and sometimes it takes, going through some shit to realize that, hey, this is what I want, and this is what this is what I'm fighting for, and by fighting for that person, you prove to them like, hey, yeah, he's into me and I'm into him, and we battled, and things weren't always easy, but we came out through it, and we're together, and we're better for it. So
Sounds like a song.
it should be, and I've been thinking about that a lot lately, like that some of the, even in interpersonal and in business relationships, some of the best relationships that I've made with clients and things came out of major issues where the client was ready to fire us, and we come in and we make things better, and we communicate and we work with them, and then blossoms into this great relationship where they continue to do business with us for years to come. And it's the same thing in a personal relationship. Things aren't always gonna be great, but if you fight through it and you show that you're willing to give it your all, and not just be like, oh, we got to fight, forget it, I'm out, I'm gonna go to the bar and get drunk with my boys and pick up on girls.
Hey, that's how I saw. Well, not the pick up girls.
Yeah, but just like that. No, I'm just saying, like the fight, like just the disrespect, rather than, hey, I'm gonna stick around and try to fight through it, and let's figure this out together. I think people just miss that sometimes, and just because your relationship at one point maybe isn't great, or maybe you have a lot of fighting, doesn't mean it can't get to that. But it really takes both people to do that.
There you go. There you go. My thought of the day is be confident in your decision. I've been struggling with a couple of decisions in my life, and I just want to say, people, is make a decision and then be confident in it, and be confident that you made it, and be okay with that. So just don't be on the fence, don't be wishy washy. Just make that and go with it. So, all right, we out.